What's up, Game Masters? When you are running an RPG, you are essentially administering two separate tracks of storytelling. You have your story, key information, clues, plot twists, all the things that your PCs have to find out or experience in order for the story to move from its beginning to its conclusion. And on the other hand, you have your stuff. NPCs, locations, cool action scenes, rooms that your PCs may or may not ever go into. Your stuff is the environment where your story takes place. I've talked a little bit before on the channel about the need of having an efficient system to keep track of both of those things separately, so that no matter where the players are in the stuff, you can still find the story point that needs to happen now, and here is a method for doing that. First, you've got to have clear individual plot points in mind. For my game, I didn't just have the plot point of the people are disheartened and scared because there's a new religion in town that does human sacrifices, and tonight is the night of the sacrifices. I broke that into 3 plot points. There is a new religion in town, the people are scared and disheartened, and it's a human sacrifice religion. And under each one of those plot points, I've written like, the main temple's been converted and painted a garish red. As you walk around the city, you see some street side preaching from weird guys in orange robes. And somebody throws something. Under the people being disheartened, I have shopkeepers closing up shop early, chasing you out. After sundown, the streets are empty. And for It's a Human Sacrifice Cult, I have a couple of scenes that reveal that. And each one of these items has checkboxes, so I can remember to use one and remember which one I used and not have to spend any brain power thinking about it. Now that's an example of some story revelations that are so simple you maybe don't need a system. But you can use this approach for much more complex plot twists. Because in the second half of my game, you have an evil queen who pretends to be a victim of the cult, but is actually running it. And the god in the mountain isn't even real. All the miracles that happen in the temple are just caused by weird machinery. And the queen's actually a sorceress who just wants these human sacrifices for her own power, because there is something alive in the mountain, and it's a wounded alien vampire entity that she's nursing back to health in exchange for power in a new world order. But it turns out the ancient mountain human sacrifice god is just asleep, and he wakes up pretty ticked off that they've been using his name. That's an amount of plot twists that is really fun to lead your players through. It makes it feel like a real movie. But it's also an amount of material that can be hard to keep track of when you are narrating for your players what happens when they interact with the stuff. So break it down. The queen pretends to be a victim. The queen secretly runs the cult. The queen's secretly a dark sorceress. The cult's miracles are a bunch of hocus pocus, but there is something alive in the mountain. Then put down all the ways your PCs might come to find those things out. I call them discovery hints. You overhear her ordering the high priest around. You overhear the high priest in his private rooms praying not to his god, but to her. What? She has a secret magic lab. She has a love potion she tries to use on the PCs. That's a good one, because after you find it out, your character may not be able to do anything about it. Her personal bodyguards are all weird and dopey, because she already used it on them. You find the machinery that makes the miracles, or overhear the senior clergy joking about it while you're sneaking around. And you hear the queen reporting to someone with her magic mirror. Or see the alien lurking in the palace. Being clear for yourself what your plot points are means that when your session doesn't go as planned, because it won't, you still have a reference for what's supposed to be happening. I keep this page up right next to my sheaf of stuff, so that no matter where the players go in there, I have a reference for what plot point would serve them best here. Takeaway for this video is you don't want to hold your plot points close. You want to hold your players close. Let them go wherever they want in the stuff of your game, but don't ever let them get away, because you're the dad at your table. Maybe that sounds a little weird to game masters who don't have kids. If you like this video, subscribe for more tips and techniques in game mastering theory every week or so when I get around to it. And remember, they are the tellers of the tale. You're just the spell check.